Jeff Ulbrich will serve as our interim head coach for the remainder of the season. He is a tough coach who has the respect of the coaches and players on this team. I believe he, along with the coaches on this staff, can get the most out of our talented team and attain the goals we established this offseason. That was a statement from Woody Johnson. Let's just touch upon this real quick and we'll go back to that question. Willie, when you hear that Jeff Ulbrich will serve as an interim head coach, he is a tough coach who is respected of the coaches and the players on this team. What do you expect from Jeff Ulbrich, and what does that say?
Well, I think it comes down to expectations, right? That's the key word I heard in that statement. The fact that they haven't met expectations, the fact that right now this team, time after time, looks like the same old Jets. There's too much money on this roster for the Jets to look like the same old Jets. And Woody is flat up tired of, he was pissed off. He was pissed off last year, right? They were blindsided with the fact that Aaron Rodgers got hurt, and there was no, Daniel Hackett couldn't get this offense together. Also, at the fact that when you talk about what happened last year, Zach Wilson didn't get better. He actually he got worse. And so it started to spiral. And then if you're Woody Johnson, if you're looking at this year, what's changed, right? Nothing's changed. Even with Aaron Rodgers, with the pieces you've been able to acquire, with a new revamped offensive line, with the defense playing, to Connor's point, out of its over its skis. So I think when you talk about expectations, the expectations aren't being met. And Valley is still early in the season to change this thing around. But Jeff, hopefully, is a breath of fresh air. Hopefully that the guys in that locker room really look at him as the leader. And hopefully Woody Johnson is happy with him at the helm. I mean, right now, I don't see anybody else in the building they could have went to. Maybe Tubbs at the end of the day. I know the tight end coach, but
Middleton.
Overall, man, this is still going to be an adjustment for this locker room. They have to now look at him like, all right, you're our guy. We're going with you. Make it better. What's different? Prove it. And that's the only way to roll.
And I can tell you, and I know, Connor, you can probably say the same thing. We're in the locker room. We see these guys. Jeff Ulbrich is very much respected. Players love him. He's a great guy. So I don't necessarily see a huge difference. What do you think, Connor? Like I said, guys love Jeff Ulbrich.
No.
Offense and defense.
No, I actually talked specifically to DJ Reed for an SNY pregame hit last year about Jeff Ulbrich, right? And about his perspectives and things like that. And he told me when I said defensive coordinator, he goes, no, that's a head coach. Like that guy is a head coach. And they love how creative he is on the defensive side of the ball. I think they love how welcoming he is. And this is what DJ Reed told me. These aren't my words. These are DJ Reed's. He loves how welcoming he is.
This was last year when you talked to him.
Yeah, last year. Yeah, sorry. So this was what DJ Reed told me last year specifically about Jeff Ulbrich, and I don't think this has changed at all. And I can hit up DJ in a couple minutes to make sure that it didn't change at all, but I'm pretty sure he's fine with saying this. But he told me that he's the type of coach that on the sideline, your first series goes, right? Jeff is going up to every single player in the defensive line and saying, hey, what did you see? What's working? What's not? Okay, linebackers, what's working? What's not? Secondary, what's working? What's not? Okay, let's make the adjustment and get after him. If it's going well, how do we make it go even better? If it's not going well, how do we turn it around? He's that kind of a guy. He wants the best for his players. He respects his players. He has a natural respect because he is a former player himself. So this is, again, it's a guy that, in my opinion, Jeane, and I said this and I reported it a couple times last year, it was an absolute travesty that Jeff Ulbrich did not get head coaching interviews last year during the coaching cycle. He absolutely should have been receiving interest. In fact, the only real play that was there was when the San Francisco 49ers tried to hire him as their defensive coordinator, and Robert Saleh and Woody Johnson blocked that from happening, obviously because they did not want to lose him. But this is a guy that was eventually going to be a head coach. Now he gets his opportunity. And this early in the season, I mean, this could very well be if we're being honest, this could be an Antonio Pierce situation where, yeah, he's the interim coach, but come the end of the year, they're basically taking the nameplate that's above his office and just scratching out interim and making him the head coach. I mean, and I do think that Jeff will be deserving.
And I got to say this, Jeane, we've seen this type of, I guess, act before from a head coach that just like I'm meeting in the locker room with Todd Bowles. Todd Bowles would do a lot of things behind the curtain, right? And he would also not publicly, throw guys out there. And he got a lot of ridicule for that because a lot of people was like, well, if he's not willing to call guys out and he's not willing to kind of show, the world that he's holding us accountable, then what is he really doing? And Robert Saleh kind of took that same approach. He was very much like, hey, man, I'm going to take all the arrows. I'm going to take all the heat. These guys are playing their tails off. They're doing everything I need them to do. overall, that's all well and good, but there has to be production behind it. And I think that's what really pissed Woody off. He doesn't mind a head coach who's willing to kind of jump on a grenade for his guys and really stand in front of the firing squad. But at the end of the day, something has to turn over, and it just never did. So hopefully Jeff understands that it's not about being appeasing to the public eye, but people want to see real accountability. People want to feel like things are changing. And he's going to have to do that right out the gate, excuse me.